One of the largest conversations, the controversial conversations when it comes to Battlefield 6 is not even the possibility of bad cosmetics ruining the immersion of the game, but instead them nerfing essentially a movement exploit inside of Battlefield 6 for the full game, which led to a lot of essentially people that are used to Apex Legends, Call of Duty. There's been a lot of games that have these kind of systems in there where you can instead of just running at a speed that the game allows you, you can manipulate certain controls, do certain tricks to where you can go really fast. You're sliding around everywhere, you're just going to objectives a lot quicker, whatever. It's a movement tech. And when it comes to this conversation, I am somebody that is kind of back and forth when it comes to this, because there are some games where I feel like when it comes to movement tech or certain tricks that only a small percentage of players will be able to do, those things don't really bother me. But when it comes to Battlefield and when it comes to stuff that really changes the movement to the point where you're going faster than sprinting, yeah, I don't know. That's why I want to talk about this. But before I even talk about this, I want to use an example from a game from long ago that had some tech to it, some movement tech that really changed the gameplay as well, but not in the way that you may think. Well, you could also do it in movement, but it was different. It was jumping. And that game is Halo 3. There were tricks to where you could use certain like I said, tricks to where you are able to throw a grenade and you were able to jump off of a cone that goes off a wall or whatever, some shrapnel that was on the ground, and you could get up into spots that you normally couldn't, that the regular jump of Halo wouldn't allow you to. And you could even use it to get far across the map as well. There was ways to zoom your character very far. And this was a trick that people couldn't really do that easily. It was a rare sight. I think when I played Halo 3, I seen maybe a total of 3 people doing it out of the thousands of hours I spent in Halo 3. So it wasn't really a huge issue to me. I felt like that was just something cool. It made the game have some kind of unique, hey, you could do this crazy thing, but it's really hard to execute. But when it comes to a lot of these tricks nowadays, like Call of Duty with the a slide cancel and all that stuff, it's not as hard as that, where it's only the small percentage of players will be able to do it. It's a lot easier than they make it out to be. Yes, a lot of casuals will not be doing it, obviously, but it's still something that does change the game a lot. And if it's something that's a little too easy to do, I feel like those things, depending on the game, can ruin it. And for me personally, when it comes to Battlefield, I think movement tech like that should not exist unless it's something very rare to do or hard to do. I'm talking about do you remember putting mines on the ground or having your buddy put mines on the ground right on top of your Jeep, and then they would blow it up and you go across the map? That requires a lot of setup to do. It does. The movement tech that I was seeing was not like that. It was just, you press these buttons, these keys on your keyboard, whatever, and then zoom, there you go. And I feel like those are situations where it would honestly ruin a lot of the combat that Battlefield has been known for. At least for the most part, because I didn't play a lot of the very old Battlefield titles, but I did play a lot of Battlefield 3 and 4. I played a lot of Bad Company 1 and 2. I played a decent amount of Battlefield 5, but I played a lot of Battlefield 1. And I barely played Battlefield 2042. But one thing I like about Battlefield is it's not trying to be like Call of Duty. For the most part. We're not talking about, Battlefield 2042 on whatever the heck that was. But Battlefield, like 4, if I use that as an example, or even Battlefield 1, like those experiences were unique. Like the movement was you running. It was you, getting down on the ground when you're getting suppressed. It was you taking cover. It was you flanking, going through buildings. If there was a building that had a person camping in there, you blew it up and you took it down. Like, you use the vehicles to get around. Like, if you want to get somewhere really fast, you get in the vehicle. Yes, you are at risk of getting hit by an RPG or whatever, but that was Battlefield. People trying to make it into this like Call of Duty or whatever they want it to be, and them saying, well, it's really hard to do, not many people will do it. It's not as difficult to do, at least with what I've seen, and even what I've heard from people that were being 100% honest. Like, no, it's not like impossible. It's not really that hard. It's more like the slide cancel. Granted, though, I do feel like certain other movement things where it really ruins like your aim, makes it way too RNG or something like that. That could be something that more of a conversation, but any kind of movement that makes you the speed of a Jeep or even remotely like faster than a sprint to an objective, I feel like those things are just going to make the game frustrating and not like what Battlefield is supposed to be. And I am noticing, because Battlefield 6 is getting a lot of attention, there is a lot of people that are going into Battlefield 6 as their first Battlefield title, and they've been playing a lot of these other games that have a lot of that movement tech that they're used to. But I'm an old person, and I remember movement tech being like how in Halo 3, like I mentioned, where it's a lot harder to do, or even Battlefield, like I mentioned, where you put down mines, you go across the map, you do some crazy like glitch stuff that's harder to do. Like, and even then, some of the things they've nerfed, like you used to take like the MAV, I think it was called. It's like this little like drone thing, and you could stand on top of it and then take command of it and then fly it upwards and go on top of like buildings and stuff that you normally should not be able to get up there, and just start sniping people. Like, that was a thing that was one of those situations where the community was very, very mixed on that. Like that it was nerfed, where it's like, well, yes, it was easy to do, but it was really fun to be able to do it and get onto spots that you normally couldn't, or whatever. But then you also had people being like, it was really annoying to see people going up on the top of the buildings and snipe and do nothing for the objectives other than just doing that. Like, not trying to do unique positioning of sniping in other areas that isn't an exploit. Like, this is one of those situations where I'm personally saying that if it is, with what I've heard and what I've seen, is that it's not that hard to do with the movement tech that was in the beta. I feel like it has no place inside of Battlefield 6. If you want to get anywhere, run. If you want to get to a certain objective and you just spawned in the main zone, get in a vehicle. Like, simple as that. I just want Battlefield to be Battlefield, not arcade, Call of Duty, whatever. And if you want an arcade experience, I guess there's the Portal. So obviously there is going to be some goofy stuff, and I obviously the Battle Royale probably will also have that, because I saw the golf cart. But Battlefield has had those goofy moments as well. But for me personally, that's just kind of where I'm at, but I could be wrong. I'm not sitting here saying 100% this is bad, they shouldn't do it, you can't change my mind on this at all. Like, you could give me a counter argument on why it would be good to have those kind of tricks, other than being told it's really hard. Because I've heard that from people that are being honest, it's really not as hard as people were trying to make it out to be, where it's like, oh, you're not going to really run into players doing this. It's like, I've played enough Call of Duty to say that slide cancel, pretty much everybody knows how to do it. Like, it doesn't matter who they are. Like, if they're casual or not, like, they're just like, oh, that's what you got to do? Okay. Now I'm going across the map. I'm going all over the place. You know, it's just jumping around. Like, and you're still going to have people jumping around you in Battlefield, but I would much rather have them jumping up and down the way that they do in Battlefield than what Call of Duty does. If I want to play something like Call of Duty, I will go play Call of Duty, or games that are focused on a lot of that movement. And Call of Duty was, well, now it's pretty much known for it, but even like old Call of Duty was like not really supposed to be like that. But yeah, that's just how I'm feeling about it. I'm looking forward to Battlefield 6. Whatever that they decide is best, I don't mind either or. I just feel like it's just what I said. Like, I'm not going to repeat it again and again, but yeah. Regardless, I hope you're having a chibi-tastic day, night, evening, wherever you are. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Chibi out.